Sure. Anyway, regardless, in the top right side we have a red Zerg fighting for ANS Esports. It is the Finnish phenom Serral.
And his opponent, spawning down on the bottom left, representing Alpha X, it is AqueroN. The, well, now, really only, but definitely best Spanish player left.
That's true, that's true. Didn't he have a brother as well that played?
You are thinking of Vortex and Lucifron, I believe?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, the Spanish Armada they used to call them. Yes, they were both
Yeah.
Spanish, yeah. Look at this, by the way. We are seeing something interesting out of both players. So we've got AqueroN going for a gas first, and Serral going gas pool. This is pretty interesting.
I don't know how you see this, but I always like it if I see the player that I assume is, you know, a little bit higher skill going for the more aggressive play. Just gives them more control of what their opponent is doing, just gives them map awareness straight off the bat. And usually if you manage from that point onwards to kind of get it into a longer game, you don't get caught off guard, right? You're usually okay. You don't put yourself too far backwards with a play like this, I would say.
Yeah, I like it a lot. AqueroN, of course, there's always the risk that he goes for something like a proxy 2 racks, a proxy 3 racks. And, you know, that's the kind of thing that if it catches you off guard, can definitely ruin your day. Now, Serral, even without that, he was looking everywhere for a proxy 3 racks. He looked all over his side of the map, basically covered pretty much everything within, you know, a third of the map of him. Like, nothing was going to cut here without being very far away.
Yeah, I mean, you make a good point because none of his overlords are even, you know, halfway to the map. I guess one of them now, the second one, arriving there a little bit, but it's taking him a while to get them there. Should still be okay to get that timing to fly into the main, check for potential BCs or something like that. If something crazy were to happen,
and
arrive with the Zerglings.
In a situation like this, you're definitely going to be on the verge of that. By the way, AqueroN did not scout at all. Serral checks in, sees the command center timing, and he's probably just going to wait for his lane speed and try and get a very brief cancel on this. There was no Reaper out of AqueroN, and he went straight into those reactor Hellions. So this is a very blind play, and wow, Serral even going to be getting Overlord speed with this. If these Hellions beeline it across the map, these Zerglings could potentially get a fair bit of damage done. There's no way he lets him into the main, right?
No,
that would be a huge mistake. He's got to close the door.
And a command center finishes as well, so he can put the SCD inside. I mean, it should be okay. Oh, he transforms it into an orbital. Okay. I guess, you know, getting that energy a bit quicker is important also.
Oh, this could actually be really big damage. Already 2 drones going down. Serral did not have any backup units here. Was not expecting the...
Clean!
Yeah, that scared the crap out of me, but Serral, he knows best.
Targeting, man, super clean. Wow, those queens just right on cue, snapping them down exactly when they needed to. Only 2 drones go down. I thought that could be a lot more, but...
Oh, I thought it was going to be a lot more, especially when he lined them up at the end, but he knew that he was going to kill those units. And look at this, it's going to be a Widowmine drop. And Serral sees this. He sees 2 Widowmines in production, sees the medevac. This is amazing information for him. He's just going to have to build a couple of Zerglings and should be able to deal with this no problem. Oh, he's already got Zerglings. He's good.
A slight bit of extra information there with the tech lab, as well as the upgrading on the barracks. Gives him a good idea of what is about to come in afterwards as well. So, yeah, it should be good. Serral in the know. He's going to recheck this. Why not, right? You have that overlord anyway. The Viking not going to be able to stop this from happening. Widowmine arriving over here. Not quite finding much of anything.
Yeah, Serral's already checked the move. Like this, it's not going to be able to really get anywhere. He's got queens in position. There's no drones at the 3rd when that medevac initially came in. So, you know, you can burrow there, but it's not like you're going to do damage to the building. It's just going to chill. These Widowmines will come in. I don't know what they were looking for exactly there, but they don't find it.
Yeah, maybe like he was anticipating Zerglings to arrive pretty soon as well. I don't know.
By the way, this is going to be a 2-base push, And Serral scouted that with the rescout. He saw those 2 additional barracks before 3rd Command Center. He knows exactly what's coming. He's going to be droning up heavily for the next little bit, but he will be switching into unit production very shortly, I'm sure. Going to be getting that quick Bane speed. This is looking amazing for Serral so far.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always a moment before the production of the Terran really kicks off with those 2 extra barracks finishing up. I mean, you're up against only 10 Marines right now, right? You could theoretically beat this with just Lynx. If you want to. Let's see. Does he have the Baneling Nest? He does have the Baneling Nest. He's making Baneling speed. 2 Evo Chambers coming up. Things are looking pretty good for Serral so far. He's managed to set up a clean beginning of this game, that's for sure.
Yeah, and it looks like those Widow Mines tried to get something done. I think they forced a couple transfuses. And that's about it. Serral trying to take down these rocks to help him deal with this push. This push is going to be a little bit scary. Serral did go all the way up to 64 drones, and his Bane speed is a ways away from finishing up. But there's already a decent bit of creep spread, and he's got a lot of queens.
Yeah, those queens should be able to keep the damage kind of contained here. Wants to be careful of the Widow Mines, but other than that, he's just playing for time. I like that he's not engaging this just straight away, right? He doesn't have to. If AqueroN's not pushing him, why should he? He's just, you know, he's fine with this taking a lot longer than it has to for AqueroN.
And I love that he checks the watchtower there to see if any reinforcements are coming. Sees that there are no reinforcements coming, and he's going to send his Lings even a little bit further forward to intercept any potential reinforcements in the near future. Now, AqueroN is playing this very patiently, but the creep he's killed has already been replaced by Serral. His Bane speed is now done. I love Serral's position in this game so much. And AqueroN, he didn't just go for 3 racks, he added on a 4th and 5th, so he is very committed to making something happen here.
Yeah, and these Lynx in front also, of course, kind of getting an indication this is happening. Seeing no 3rd base, at least on this side of the map, which should kind of already be there if this was, you know, in the works for AqueroN. Gonna go in again with those Zerglings, recheck. Might check all the other side right now as well. No, he's just gonna move backwards. I feel like he's pretty aware though that he just has to crush this attack right now, and then after that he should be in a phenomenal position. See if he manages to do that though.
He is gonna wrap around on this army, sees with the watchtower, AqueroN does, that this is happening. And he's going to have to be very careful now. Serral, he can actually intercept these reinforcements now that he sees them with the watchtower. Will get a couple of Marines. They do get him up into the medevac, but he gets the tank, which is the most important part.
Man, that was so good. Did you see that? He moved the Banelings back into the shade so they couldn't get targeted by the siege tank. As he was sending in the Zerglings as well to the siege. Like, so many little micro things that are just going perfectly, right? And alright, let's see what happens here. Those Marines still a threat, of course. The siege tanks in the back. Man, this army for Serral is just growing and growing, and AqueroN's having trouble reinforcing this location.
And Serral's bought himself so much time, but hold that thought. We're seeing a massive doom drop into the main base. Serral managing to buy himself time until 1-1 completes, which is amazing because it's going to give him the upgrade lead. But there are so many Marines here up into this main base. That is going to be a little bit tricky for Serral. He will come in and wipe out the other army on the bottom side, the tanks and Widow Mines. Oh, no, looks like 1 tank did survive. But he loses 5 drones, and AqueroN gets a little bit done. Ooh, will lose a medevac with a couple units inside. More Marines coming on forward. This is still scary for Serral.
Yeah, it feels like Serral lost way too much from that bottom army engaging, what was it, like 2 siege tanks and 2 Widow Mines, perhaps? Maybe not fully realizing that there's Widow Mines there as well, and suddenly took a lot more damage there. And things getting a bit more spicy than they perhaps had to be for him here. AqueroN, his Marine numbers haven't dwindled that much. He's only lost 14 in total. This might be the difference maker, though, with all those Banelings coming in. Oh, that's a lot of green. And there it is. GG is called.
And Serral takes game number 1. That was, honestly, AqueroN made some really cool moves and gave himself a really strong chance to win. And Serral said, I don't care at all. And just easily bops it out of the sky.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like so many little tiny things that he's just doing correctly, and he's doing perfectly, and it's very nice to watch. It's very nice StarCraft to kind of see.
Even when he came in for the flank, he just spreads his army out into kind of 3 little subgroups, so that tank fire is going to be a little bit less effective. The fact that he was intercepting reinforcements, anticipating his 1-1 finishing, but not wanting to actually fight until that point, kind of checking his opponent's moves, saying you can't do this until I'm done, until I let the fight happen. Just impressive stuff from Serral, start to finish.
Yeah, he didn't get, how do you call this, lured into the Terran either. That is set up off creep somewhere on top of a ramp, right, spread out with a siege. All of that stuff, he never did it. He never did it. He's just like, all right, no, I'm fine. I know I'm fine. You're not pushing any further. I'm not risking it.
As someone who's been lured into that situation way too many times, I can say that is a difficult skill to cultivate.
It's a lot of discipline, because every time you kind of miss micro that situation, right, you take siege tank shots, and you get this feeling like, well, if this just keeps going like this, I'm gonna lose, because I'm just taking 3 pot shots every time I get a little bit too close every time, right?
Yep, exactly. And even though you have the better economy, you're trading so much worse or so much of the time that it doesn't often get the chance to be realized or recognized for a while. Sure. But that being said, we're going to be getting into game number 2 on Blackburn here. Spawning down in the bottom left position, it is Alpha X's AqueroN in the blue.
His opponent in the red, it's a Zerg from NC Sports. It is Serral.
And we're going to be seeing another gas pool out of Serral, going for that 17 gas, 17 pool once again. So he's just respecting AqueroN. Oh, this is such a cool move from AqueroN. Oh, I love this so much. This is such a smart thing to do on Blackburn. Look at this. He is building the barracks away from the wall so that when Serral scouts in here, he's not going to see it. Now, will Serral go all the way through? What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, this could cause a bit of difficulty as well, because, I mean, we do have a spawning pool first. He as well, because he did go spawning pool first, he has a bigger chance of overreacting to this, thinking he's going to get 2 racks or something. We'll see.
Yeah, now AqueroN is going to be building the command center here. Serral's going to see no unit or no building in the wall. He's going to see that supply depot. But he's... How much does he overreact? Well, not going to overreact at all because he sees the command center.
No, just falling, so it's okay.
Yeah. That's exactly what he built last game. So it's same response, and we're going to be seeing a second barracks.
So he might still make some more. I don't know. I mean, you do see this ginormous gap just in the front wall. I guess now it's already, you know, if you didn't make the links right then and there, it's a very tight window to try and squeeze yourself through, but. Yeah, why exactly. Risk it? Why risk it, right? When you're Serral and in this position, why risk it on a move like that?
That being said, he is going up to at least 10 Zerglings here, building 6 more. Now, he might have been worried about another Hellion run-by, similar to what we saw in the last game. Yeah, that's the only thing I can really think of. But he saw the Reaper, so I'm not sure.
See.
What are your thoughts on this 2-1-1 we're seeing as a follow-up?
Ooh, I like it. I do like the bit more aggressive on the Marines a bit earlier on. I think Serral is a player that can still get caught off guard, right? It's something like, no matter how good you are, if you just suddenly have a big ball of stim Marines on your front porch and you don't have the units to deal with them right then and there, right, you're going to take big damage. But we'll see whether or not Serral catches wind of it.
Oh my God. AqueroN doing his darndest to keep that Reaper alive. Serral finally splitting the Lings into 1 and 1. We'll be able to take care of that. He is going to be able to find 1 Marine right there. Was that 1 Marine for 2 Zerglings? Yeah, I'll take that when you're going for a 2-on-1. Oh, and he's even going to force a little bit of lost mining time right there. So I would say these 10 Lings have, if not paid for themselves, they've come very close.
Yeah, and then they're getting so much information as well right now. Like,
yeah, yeah, no, he knows for sure what this build is now.
Okay.
Oh. What do you think about the Roach Warren response to a 2-on-1?
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, Roaches do okay against the Marines, especially in the early game, I would say, right? They're armored, they don't take extra damage. As long as those Marauders aren't mixed in as well, you're gonna be alright.
Yeah, it's decent. It's not fantastic, but especially before combat shields, when Roaches still 3-shot Marines, it's pretty good. It's pretty decent.
And then as well, like in the earlier parts, I guess for the Roaches you could make the case, right? Because they're bigger than the Marines, you have this stacked damage where if there's like 20 Marines, they're going to be a lot more concentrated, and then the focused fire is going to be a lot more efficient than the Roaches. But yeah, if there's low numbers, it's not really the case. Most Roaches will be able to just run on top of you and just start shooting all at the same time.
Now, you play Terran at a very high level. What do you think of AqueroN's follow-up with a siege tank and with an additional barracks? Because this is going to be another 2-base all-in, give or take.
You know what? I don't mind it. The siege tank is going to be able to kind of keep himself safe back at home. If you go for something like Widow Mines or something like this, right? I don't know. But yeah, I don't mind it. I think it's a clean transition here. Seize the Roaches, right? Even more reason to have siege tanks right now.
Yeah, that's true. Especially on Blackburn, where tank pushes can be so strong. Now, Serral's going to really want to keep that creep spread. He is going to force these Marines back again. Ooh, AqueroN, oh, he only loses
Fly
one.
Away! Flee!
Flee for your lives.
Fly, you fools!
Yeah, exactly. Engineering Bay is going to actually be later than the double evolution chamber for Serral. So that +1 attack timing lead that we saw in the first game, that's not going to be here.
Yeah. Let's see. Really doesn't have it, no. Does he have engineering? He must have engineering.
He just finished the NG Bay. Just finished it.
Well, that should be coming in. I'm also curious whether or not he actually wants to get a third base here, because I don't know. He's just making Liberators and no siege tanks right now. I feel like he's just gonna go for another big old push.
Yeah, Liberator here. It's got to be heavy commitment, especially the fact that he's not getting a reactor on that. Now, Stim is going to come on in. We'll take this Overseer out, but the Overseer gets huge information. Tells Serral, yeah, there's 1 NG Bay, there's 3 barracks. Serral's already dialed in for this. I think the only thing is maybe he wants to take down those rocks in the middle, but that's about it. I think he's already very well prepared for this.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's looking dangerous for AqueroN for sure. I mean, you have siege tanks, but there's just so much creep already out here, right? And even with the double Medivac Stim Marine dropping going on, it just didn't look like it really impeded this creep spread at all. And now, alright, Serral not quite making the push there, but I don't know. It felt like maybe he could have gotten some vials landing there already on the siege tanks. Let's see, creep receding a little bit. This is, I don't know about this.
Yeah, we're already going to see Corrosive Vials taking down that lead tank. Roach speed's going to complete. No player has actual attack upgrades. Serral even splitting one of his Roaches a little bit further forward than the others. He's going to come in, Vials down the second tank, kills off the third, and this push is over. And so is this game.